Good morning, dear students. A very hearty welcome to my channel. In today's class, we will be studying about the main topic, that is creating a user-defined module. I will be covering this particular topic in two consecutive lectures. In the first lecture today, I'll be giving you an introduction to how you can create your own user-defined module. So let's move on. The very first thing which we are going to study today is what is a library, what is a module, and what is a package. Although library and package, these two terms are used interchangeably, but there is a subtle difference between them. Library is a collection of packages. A package is a collection of individual modules. And a module is a simple Python program file with .py extension. So you can see that library is a collection of packages. A package is a collection of individual modules, and a module is a simple Python program file with .py extension. Now when I say library as a collection of packages, so here module is a simple Python program file. So we say that module is a Python file. Module is a file. Now you know that a folder can contain multiple files. So package is a folder which contains multiple files. And a library is a main folder containing subfolders where each subfolder is a package. So we have a library, package, and module. So this is how we understand the hierarchy of user-defined modules. So library we know is a collection of books. Okay, it's not just a collection of books, it's a collection of cabinets. Each cabinet contains certain category of books. So we can say that a library is there. Within that library, different racks and cabinets are fixed for different purposes, for different subjects. Some could be storybooks, some could be children's books, some could be science books, some could be encyclopedias. So we can say that we have different packages, and within each of those racks and cabinets, we have individual books which could be termed as modules, right? So module is a simple Python program which is saved with a .py extension. From module we get a package. Multiple modules are stored in a folder known as package, and multiple such folders, if they are collected and kept in a main folder, then that main folder is termed as a library of packages. So how you can create your own module? So first of all, the very first step which you have to keep in mind is, we will see a hierarchy of steps now. The very first step is decide about the basic structure of your package. So you have to first decide about the basic structure of your package. So for this purpose, I have already created a package. Just a sec. So here you can see that I have already created a whole structure. So I have first decided the structure of my library. So you can see that the name is Lib Computer, that is Library of Computer. This is a main library, that is, it's the main folder. Now from this main folder, we have a hierarchy cropping up, branching down in the form of subfolders known as packages. So these all are the subfolders, which are packages. And each package contains individual Python files known as modules. So you can see that this is a library of computer subjects within which you have three subjects: computer science, computer applications, and informatics practices. The main idea behind each of these modules is general subject information, theory information, practical information. So I will be creating three functions within each of these modules which will contain a general information about that particular subject within that class. Okay, so now this thing actually we will be implementing in our next lecture. In today's lecture, I will just be explaining the various things or the steps how we proceed. So this is my entire library. These are the packages and these are the modules. So this class 11 is a module, this class 9th is a module, this class 11 is a module, okay. And because you can see that the names are same, hence we will have to use their particular namespaces. Like the main namespace is library computer, and within that you have three individual namespaces: computer science, computer applications, and informatics practices. So you will have to use the namespace along with the function or the method which you are using. So this is my general structure which I have created. The second step is create the directory structure having folders with names of package and subpackages. So that also I have done here. I will be naming this as Libre Computer. Here it would be named as within this I will be having three packages. So I will be naming them like this: Computer Science, Com App, which is computer applications, and IP. Or I can also take simple names over here so that I could save on some time. CS, CA, or C app, and IP. So this is my library. These three are my package names. Now within each of them I will be having these names only: class 11 and class 12. So I can also name them as CS class 11, CS class 12, C app class 11, C app class 12, and IP class 11, IP class 12. So I can just name these methods in this way to avoid any confusion, right? My next step and the third step is create underscore double underscore init double underscore dot py files in package and subpackage folders. Now, a Python program can never become a module if it doesn't has associated with it a special type of file, which is this underscore init underscore dot py. So this is a special file which is associated with a file. Okay. So underscore init double underscore init double underscore py. You have to place this file. This is an empty file. Okay, empty Python file with the extension .py. which has to be kept within each of these packages, each of the folders. You have to keep it within the folder LibreComputer also, within CS also, within CApp also, and within IP also. Until and unless you place this file within the folders, none of these modules will be able, none of these Python files will be able to become modules, right? I will show you an example. I have already created some modules here. You can see we are within the site packages folder. So you can see I'm within the site packages folder. So here actually it resides wherever your Python installation folder is present. So now within this, you can see the user defined module, that is temperature, pretty table. This is also another one, and I have kept underscore double underscore init double underscore dot py. So this particular file has to be there so that temperature is recognized as a module. So now when I run temperature, you will be able to see how it works. I can write, first I'll have to write import temperature, and now if I write help temperature, you will be able to see that all it shows, it displays all the complete information about this module. Okay, the name of the module, what this module does, the various functions, the data, that is constants which are used, which file it is saved in, right? So that's because this is it is recognized as a module only because of this double underscore init file. So this file is mandatory to be placed within the package containing the module. Next step is associate it with Python installation, that is site packages folder. How to check the path of site packages? Now this site the site packages folder is the folder which contains all your modules and packages which you use in your Python program. You call several, you import modules, you call those functions. Where do they come from? They come from modules which are saved within packages within the site packages folder. Now, how to check the site packages folder? So for this, you have to use a command. So I'm just going to tell you which command you will be using. You will be first importing a sys module in your program, and then you will be printing sys.path. So let's execute this. So we are here. So first I will be writing import sys, and I'll be typing here print sys.path. Now this sys.path gives me a list of all the various locations where Python searches for a particular module. The first location being a blank string, which shows that it first looks into the current directory wherever your program is. Okay, wherever your program, whichever program you are creating. I'm not talking about a module, I'm talking about an ordinary program where you will be using the module. Okay, so wherever you have kept the module, that particular, wherever you have created a simple ordinary Python program, like I'll just show you a path of a Python program. I usually keep all my programs here, class 12th, programs, and this is the area where I keep all my programs. And right now, because we are working on user defined modules, so I save it in this folder. So this is my current folder if my Python program is over here. Like we were doing this a website handler program, and which imports the url lib command, which sorry, url lib module. So it will first search for that module within this current folder. If it doesn't find it there, then it will move to the next item in the list, that is idle lib folder within Python 3.8. So how to get this? We will first be going to this PC. Now within this, we will be going to local disk C drive, and depending upon which version of which operating system you are using, whether it's a 32-bit operating system or a 64-bit operating system. Because I am using a 64-bit operating system, I'll be looking in program files. And even if you are using a 32-bit operating system, you will be having only program files on your computer. So here I will be looking for Python 3.8 folder. So this is my Python 3.8 folder. And within this I will be going to the lib folder, and this lib contains this idle lib. So all various types of, you can see this browser, all the inbuilt modules are there for which you don't need to search anywhere. And you can also see this init file over here. So this browser module is there, config module is there, debugger editor module is there. So all different modules are there within this folder. So it will first search here. Next is it will look for the next location, that is python 38.zip, then DLLs, then lib. So we will be first going, and here it finds out, you have to check this area, lib site packages. So this site packages contains all the externally downloaded location or externally downloaded packages, which is over here within the lib folder. So you can check it over here. Within the lib folder, you have site packages folder, and within this you can see this is an user defined package created by me, that is interest. Within this also you can see interest, and I have had added this init file. You find the MySQL package which I downloaded a few months ago, the pretty table module which was downloaded and installed, and an inbuilt that is user defined module, that is temperature. So you can see that it will, this uh, sys.path identifier will return the already included paths wherever Python searches for a particular module. Okay, so what we need to do is we will choose this site packages folder and keep our module in that folder. We will not choose the idle lib folder, that is because it contains all the inbuilt modules and we should try not to disturb those modules. So we will be choosing this one, site packages folder, which contains all the externally downloaded modules, that is modules downloaded from or from external sources or created modules. So we will be choosing this particular location to save our module. Our next step is, once found, copy your own package folder and paste it in this folder. So you have to copy your own package folder and paste it in that folder. Now your folder becomes a Python package and underlying Python files become modules whose content can be reused. So already we can see that we have figured out how to create a module. So now we will be seeing how we can create a module. So students, how today we learned how we can, what are the various steps which are needed to create a module. In our next lecture, like I said, we will be discussing in detail about how we can actually create a module. So we will create this module and we will also integrate it within the site packages folder, and we will also use it within some other program and see how it works. So today I end the class here only. We will again meet in the next class. Thank you.